Yes. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another Teachers Talk sessions tonight. And tonight we have a very special guest again in our 22nd session, Amelia Caroline Işıtan, and she is known as the Turkish Amy among the many of the educators. And she lives in Ankara, by the way, and she's an author and voice actor and environmental engineer, and also she's an English teacher to the little ones. So when she comes here, we are going to start our live session, and I think that she is. So let's invite her to here. Okay.
Ha! There
Ha!
we go.
Hello. Hello, Amy. Amelia, actually. How are you?
Okay.
Perfect. It's great. It's great to see you. It's wonderful to see you here and in
It's great to be here.
Teacher Talk session. And so I'm sure that it's going to be a really nice session with you. I was really thinking about that. Maybe you are going to say that, oh, Volkan, I'm really busy these days. I can't make it. And then you said, oh, of course I can do it. And I said, yes, great. This is wonderful. It's going to be a really nice session with her. Yeah, she accepted. So thank you
Well,
very
I
much. One more time.
well, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me. This is actually my first Instagram live. I feel really weird. Like I feel really weird.
Really?
I've never done. Yeah, I'm used to doing webinars, with like Click Meeting and Adobe Connect and Zoom and Skype and all those kind of things. And
Yeah.
this was so easy. I'm actually really pleasantly surprised. This this is really cool.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'm happy that you like it. So maybe your next sections is going to be on Instagram. No need to make lots of preparations like Zoom, like or Click Meeting or other meeting. Just go on the Instagram and go for that.
No PowerPoints, none of that. Oh, that'd be nice.
Just talking and ideas. It's going to be all right. So maybe we can start slowly, and the people can join it. The slowly sessions.
Mm-hmm.
And so let me start. Ready? By the way.
I guess. I guess.
Okay, great. So, Amelia, can you tell us about yourself to us?
Yeah, sure. I moved here 14 years ago. It's been a while.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, I came to Turkey as an exchange student when I was really young, and I'm not going to tell you how old because then you guys can figure out how old I am. But I came 14 years ago, and at the time, I didn't know any Turkish. I didn't know what I was doing. But I ended up making some really nice friends, and then I came back and went to college here. I went to university here. I studied at Middle East Technical University, and I
Wow,
got my degree.
one of the best ones.
It is. It was a good time. It was. And I was lucky enough to get into the environmental engineering department, and I loved it. Had a great time studying there. But Volkan, I was so poor. I needed to do something to survive. And as an American, I was like, well, what can I do? The first thing I did was I went to McDonald's. I went to McDonald's, Volkan. I'm so embarrassed
Really?
about this. But yes, I was like, I'm an American. I can do McDonald's. Okay, that's something I can do.
Great.
And so I went there to try and work at McDonald's, and I was like, so how much do you pay? And they're like, 2 lira an hour. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to
Come
do
on.
that.
Oh, so surprisingly.
Of course, this was many years ago, but still, 2 lira an hour is unacceptable. So then I met one of my dorm mates. She was an Iranian, and she's like, well, Amy, why don't you just give private lessons? Or why don't you just, come with me and work at this Dersani teaching English? And I was like,
Uh-huh.
I speak English, could probably do that. And I sucked.
Definitely.
so bad. I was so bad because you know, knowing English isn't enough to be able to teach it. You know, they would ask me questions, and they'd be like, "So why, teacher?" I'm like, "I don't know why this is grammatically. It's just how it is." And so I struggled, but I learned through experience. And then, you know, after I taught all through university. And
Mm-hmm.
when I graduated and I wanted to become an engineer, I was surprised when I found out that the money that I was making as an engineer wasn't going to be enough to cover my cost of living. So I had to keep
Yes.
teaching to survive. And then I just like kind of
Excellent
fell.
decision.
Yeah, and so I went on and I got my Delta, you know, I did get some training, you know, and because I really was that poor, Volkan, you cannot imagine. I,
Yeah, I can understand.
I became a voice artist. I worked at a studio and I branched that out. And so now I have several different career paths that I have taken. And I work
But
now
wonderful.
it is, and I'm very happy with my choices. I think that teaching was an unexpected blessing. I never thought I would
For
teach, you know?
teach.
But I mean, there's nothing more rewarding than being in the classroom with those little kids. So I'm glad that I fell into it like I did. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm sure that the kids also very happy to, have such a the good one with
Crazy,
them as a teacher.
yeah,
It's
crazy Miss
nice.
Amy. They do appreciate it.
I see. Okay, Amelia. Thank you. And my next question is about your teaching experiences. So, can you tell us about your experiences in teaching?
My experiences,
Yes, your
right?
experiences. Yes.
Oh goodness. I, oh, there are, you know, I don't remember her name. But there was this one student, one of my very first students, when I started working at a Dersane back in university. Um, that was like my first gig of really teaching a group of kids. Um, she was blind, and I did not know
Oh,
what to do. Yeah, and they said you're going to have a one-on-one lesson with her, and you're going to sit in this room, and you know
wow.
you're going to teach her English. And I'm like, what? I don't know what I'm
Wow.
going to do. And she was amazing, Volkan. She was amazing
Really?
because she didn't see, she didn't focus on the letters. She focused just on my voice. She had the
Yeah.
most perfect pronunciation, the best
Wonderful.
accent that I've ever heard. And you know, it's that whole, you know, when you lose one sense,
Hmm.
the other senses are heightened. And I saw that so clearly with her. So she's really stuck with me as, you know, a person who really shone, you know, even through all the hardships
I
that she was
see.
facing. Yeah, so that was a pretty special one for me. And
Wow. Wonderful.
yeah,
It's such you can't forget about it.
no, like I said, I don't even remember her name though. Like I mean, but I just remember her singing to me in English. Like I just remember I focused on those memories in particular. So, and I'm
Hmm.
really bad with names, and that's part of it.
Yeah, I it's normal. Sometimes I forget the names too. So, but I remember the face of the people. But
Yeah.
it's quickly I forget the names. It's okay. Okay, thank you. It's nice. But it's generally, how long have you been teaching?
Over 10 years. Over 10 years.
Oh, 10 years. Wow. What have you taught in like kindergartens, whole the teaching career, or adults in
Oh,
university and high school or private colleges?
I bounced around. I started off teaching middle school and high school students, and then I moved on to teaching adults for about 4 years. And then
Hmm.
I went to primary school, and then I went like bouncing around, and it took me a while to
I
find
see.
my niche, to find that place where I'm supposed to be. And when I
Mm-hmm.
finally got into kindergarten, I was like, oh yeah, this is it. This is my spot.
Yeah.
Like this is where I'm supposed to
This one is
be.
for me.
I'm getting paid to color. Are you kidding me? I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, playing with Play-Doh and, cooking and running around and playing tag. And I mean, I had always been in the primary school as well. I'd been really active and playing games and running around, but I felt like in the kindergarten, I was really given a lot of control,
Mm-hmm.
and it was expected of me to be crazy.
I see.
And that's what I loved, is that I was accepted for being this weird.
You're wonderful, wonderful. So with the little kids, it's very amazing. Actually,
Yeah.
I never thought that, but I heard from other colleagues. They said it's really crazy to teach them. But I'm sure that it's really fun.
I,
Something crazy to teach them. Huh?
oh, it can get crazy. It can get very loud. I remember I had to go to the doctor because I was getting such terrible migraines, and I told the
Wow.
doctor, he's like, "What do you do? What do you do for a living?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just a kindergarten teacher," I said, and she's like, "Oh, honey, I'm writing you painkillers. Hold on, stop, stop, stop." She just cut me off. She's like, I don't need to hear anything else. Let me just write you a prescription. Take it, whatever you need."
Take it.
And she understood. Yeah, it can get
Wonderful.
better.
So yeah, the painkillers will help you a lot in these situations. Okay, so actually, this question is about your. Let me ask you directly the question. What was your favorite moment or experience in your own education?
Hmm. I was really lucky. I grew up in a very small town in Michigan in the
Hmm.
United States.
Yes.
And our town, they don't have a lot of money, but our
Hmm.
school, they had done a nice job of making the school. They had an auditorium, we had really good equipment, and we had a wonderful FFA program. And I don't know if you know what FFA is. Do you? Probably not.
No, I never heard it. What's the
Well,
FFA
they don't.
program?
It's
It's like, can you?
Future Farmers of America, Volkan.
What's
Yeah,
Future Farmers of America? Wow,
yeah.
it's really nice. It's very,
You didn't expect
it's
that
a
from me, did you?
pushing. Say again? Sorry?
You
I never
didn't
thought that
expect
it's
that.
going. No, 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 no. I didn't accept that. I was thinking about the FFA program. It's like, the future, something like, kind of a business can be, or
Anything
maybe a kind of a college, anything else. But Future Farmer of America is wonderful. It sounds great.
And we had a wonderful agriculture program, and our FFA teacher he was crazy. He was crazy, and that's the kind of teacher I want to be. I want to be that crazy teacher who's just like, let's do it, let's get it done, rah, tangas, always like crazy
Yeah.
energy. And I remember one year, that year we were taking biology with him, and
Uh-huh.
he was like, "You know what? I'm done teaching you. You teach yourselves. You teach me. Take the textbook. You're going to go home, and this week, you guys, you're going to be teaching this system of the body. This week, you're going to be teaching this system of the body." And he made us make all presentations, and we taught the class, and he just sat there and he listened. And so
Wow.
he forced us to teach. So that was like my first teaching experience, was teaching biology.
Wow.
And we were crazy. Because we were given that responsibility, we really wanted to shine. So I remember my best friend, her mom was a nurse. And so she gave us saline bags, IVs. And we took them and we turned them into kidneys. And then we could like turn on the nozzle and make the
Oh,
kidneys. So, but But I remember this. Why? Because I did it physically, kinesthetically. I was touching it. I
Yeah.
was in charge. It was my motivation. So it was really special for me, and I still remember it.
Wow.
I still remember most of his
It's a
lessons because
great
he
memory.
was just, yeah, yeah.
Do you
And
remember the name?
Mr. Feebig was the
The,
name of
the,
my teacher.
ah, nice. SFA
Kyle
teacher.
James. Yeah.
I see.
And
Nice.
I want to give one more example,
Yeah, sure, of course.
because uh, of my mother. She wasn't my teacher per se. Obviously, she taught me many things, but my
Uh-huh.
mom was also a teacher. And
Mm-hmm.
do you know what? You would know what this is. So in America, churches
Yes.
will have, like, you know how you guys have like Quran kursu here? We have Sunday
Yeah.
school in a, okay.
I know.
And my
Yeah,
mom
it's kind of.
was,
I heard. I know. It's like here in our in mosques, the students go there to
yeah,
learn the Quran, something like it's just similar. I think in over there.
it's kind of similar, but
Kind of.
kind of. Well, you're going to see why it's different in a bit. So my mom was a Sunday school teacher, and I remember she taught the littlest kids. She taught the 3-year-olds, and my mom was so passionate about it. And I get my weird from my mother, the woo. And my mom, she went to a refrigerator store. She got a huge box. She spent an entire week painting it to look like a time machine. And then
Wow.
she brought it to church, and then she had the kids get into the time machine and travel back in time so that she could tell stories from, in our case, the Bible. So
Uh-huh.
I saw this like creativity of taking something completely ordinary, a box, and how it just
Wow.
blew the minds of these 3-year-olds. Just a simple material.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I want to ring this bell. It's wonderful, wonderful creativity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wonderful creativity. Yeah, I love that really. Like just taking a box and the change into a time machine to teach something. It's wonderful, very creative. Great, really. And then is that all? I think that's all about the
Yeah.
moments that you had. Okay, great. I was waiting that you're gonna say more. All right. So, and now, as far as I know, you are an author to Enter Education Kits,
Yes, I
and
am.
it's a company, something like. Can you tell us about that, your current business or company, and what kind of things you are doing there?
So when I was working in the kindergarten, Volkan, the way I would teach English, like the best way that I
Mm-hmm.
could find that I could teach English, that I could um, address any classroom management issues I was having. Like if kids were,
Mm-hmm.
they weren't sharing, or, they weren't taking turns. And, you can find books on anything, anything.
Yes.
I was
Mm-hmm.
very lucky to have a lot of books, a lot of storybooks that were at my disposal. And
Uh-huh.
I realized not all schools have this, especially, when you have the dollar. Volkan, today it hit 8.
Yeah,
I mean, how can you buy good quality English books if you can't even, how are you going to afford that? And so this
you're right.
really, really bothered me. And so knowing that this is what the kids need, this is what the teachers need,
Uh-huh.
I said, well, I'm going to make what we would call yarlamalı. I was like,
Yeah,
I'm going to make yarlamalı. I'm an American, but at this point, I'm the Turkish Amy. I've just been here for so
yeah.
long. I'm almost, I'm almost like 50-50, half in America, half in Turkey. At this
Half
point, I
Turk,
am young. So
the
I
Turkish.
was like,
Why Turkish Amy?
so my partner at Enter Education, he had been really interested in this too, Halit Aitar. And he's like, well, Amy, let's do this. Let's write books for the kindergarten. Can you do it? Now, I never thought
Wow,
that this was something I
it's
would
real
ever
hard work.
pursue. I never thought I would have the audacity to write a book. You know, you always think, oh,
Mhm.
I can't do that. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Where would I get the ideas? And then suddenly these characters just started coming to me, and these storylines just started coming to me. And then it was just like, just let it all out. And so
Lo-
now I've written 30 storybooks, 30 of them, yeah. And 15 have
Wow.
been published.
Did I hear correct?
13,
30.
30,
13.
yes.
Okay.
30. No,
Wow.
30. The first 15 have been published along with my, I'll show you. Oh, God, got a lot of them. I've
Yeah,
got,
it's very happy, I think.
I've got a ton of
Wow.
books. Yeah, yeah. And
Wonderful.
so they're pretty exciting. So these are the first 15, and they're all
Ooh.
tailored to like, and here's another thing, Volkan. I mean, I felt like as a foreign teacher,
Yes.
I was, going into these schools, not knowing anything about what kind of weeks were celebrated. Like, okay, Atatürk Haftası, I kind of knew. Yarlamalı
Uh-huh.
Haftası, what was this? Like, I didn't know what I was doing, and I felt like a fish out of water. I didn't know. Then there was Barış Manço Haftası, for instance. I was like, who's Barış Manço? I didn't know.
Wow.
So it was
But
getting
by the
really
way,
difficult.
he was really, the one of the best, singer in Turkey.
Now I know who he is, and so I
Huh.
put him in my activity book. I have a whole week of activities dedicated to Barış Manço,
Wow.
dedicated to dedicated to Orman Haftası, because I know what's going to happen to us foreign teachers. We get into the kindergarten or we get into other parts of the school, and we think we're going to be doing one thing, and then we turn around and the Turkish, special days or belirli günler
Ve
ve özel
haftalar,
haftalar.
of course. There are lots of,
You get that, and we don't know what to do. So I became an author because I wanted to help teachers like me,
Yeah.
especially the foreign teachers who have no idea what are we doing, and not and to get content, to give content that would
Yeah.
be applicable for kids. I do all the audiobooks because I'm a voice artist. So yeah. So
Wonderful.
yeah,
I mean,
it's
great.
fun.
How long does it take to write one book, Amelia?
Sometimes it can take me a month. Sometimes I can write 2 in a day. It's all about inspiration. It's all
Wow. It's a magical
yeah,
creativity.
yeah, and some I'm writing the books for the 4-year-olds and the 3-year-olds. I wrote about 5 books last month. This month I haven't written anything. I just hasn't come to me. So
Not yet.
that's the difficulty with it. Yeah, it's going to come. I have faith. It will come. I will find it.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. Don't worry. You will get that, the thing
I'll
when
find
the
it
right
somewhere.
time has come. Oh, great. Okay, thanks. So, is it all about your company, about Enter Education
Well, I
Kids?
mean,
If it
oh
is,
gosh,
I will
well,
move another question.
I could go on and on about Enter Education Kids, but I mean, I'm not here to hawk my wares, so I feel kind of
I see.
guilty about
Okay, okay.
about
I
it.
see. Okay, great. So, Amy, this is a very, maybe it's very difficult questions to answer. So, what are the advantages and disadvantages of working as a foreign teacher
Oh,
in another country?
not in here. Not
No, no,
here.
I
Just
mean
in general.
general. Say in Turkey. In Turkey, you
Yeah.
can take it Turkey.
Well, like I just said, you have these cultural issues where I didn't know about Barış Manço Haftası. And then suddenly I'm expected to incorporate it into my lessons. You have
Mm-hmm.
all of these cultural issues. And then, see, I'm very lucky. I have been here for 14 years. I speak the
Yeah.
language. There are many foreign teachers who do not. And so they are left with being in a school where, the administrators can't, adequately communicate with them, and they're left, trying to figure out what it is that they're supposed to do. I
Mhm.
remember that there would be meetings with the whole
Yes.
faculty, and then the poor, I understood what was going on, but other foreigners who were the English teachers wouldn't know what was going on. So that it can be really frustrating. The language barrier, the cultural differences, and here's another thing that's probably not talked about, but because I'm a foreign teacher, I have to stand up for these foreign teachers. Woo woo, represent.
Yeah. Go for it. Yes.
We I'm going to say something very offensive. We we are constantly abused. We are constantly abused by the schools. You will see this
Mhm.
in many schools, that the foreign teachers are promised work permits that are never given. They are, dragged along like, oh, we're going to give it to you next semester. Oh, it's just taking too long, when they have never any intention of getting it for you. I've seen that, just this summer, I've had to answer the phone of other foreign teachers in tears saying, I don't think I'm going to be deported, because they're not,
I
because for
see.
them, it's for the schools, I'll just hire her for a couple months, and then I'll just get another one, and then I'll trick them, so this is really problematic, and that is one of the reasons that I know that I work, I partner a lot with ITTC, and
Of course,
I
I have attended actually many webinars of you over there.
yeah,
I know it.
yeah. The head of the ITTC is Abdullah Nazari, and my partner at Enter Education, Halit Aitar, they have been really, they're forming, I don't know, I can say this, right? I probably should have
Yes.
asked before I came on. No, not you. I'm just wondering if I'm allowed to talk about this. Oh, whatever. They're forming an association to represent, a dernek, to represent the foreign teachers here in Turkey, because it has become such a problem, such a problem. Like, uh, I only had one school out of all those years that I worked, honestly, that ever gave me a work permit. One.
I see.
That's insane. I've worked for 10 years. That means I didn't get
So,
Segeka. I didn't
wow.
get, I had to find other ways to get insurance. I had to find other ways to get to get just a residence permit. Big issues. Anyway, those are the downsides.
Okay.
There are some benefits. There
So
are some
let's
advantages.
count to the goods.
Let's go to the good
Yeah.
thing. Well, one, as an American, I happen to speak pretty good English. I happen to have that going for me. And I also think that because we're coming from different education systems, sometimes
Yes.
we view things differently. We have different ideas. And because we're bringing different cultures, having different cultures
Yeah.
is always wonderful. But you're also bringing in different ideas. Like I
Sure.
said, I grew up with farming. So in my kindergarten, I planted peas. Because that's something I grew up with in my education system. And so I applied it here. I saw, I had a different education. So that's also
I see.
beneficial. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I see. Great. Thanks. I think, is that all about the advantages and disadvantages? Yeah, okay. Wonderful. So I can move to the other question. Okay, Amy, so you know that especially for a long time, maybe the distant educations is so popular about, these days. So
Yeah.
what is your opinion about distant education or distant
I hate
learning?
it. I hate it. But you can kind of tell that I'm one of those people that's like, come on, you guys, let's dig in the dirt and let's find some worms. Like, I'm that teacher. So for me, going on screen and like not having that contact. I mean, I want my kids
Uh-huh.
to have like sensory experiences. I want them to smell and to taste and to not just to see and to hear. I want them to touch things. So I really struggle because I have to change my whole teaching techniques. You know,
Yeah,
I have to
exactly.
change my tactics. So, but you know what? I have a saying, an idiom,
Sure.
proverb. Here we go. I have something that I go by. Something that I go by. There are no problems, only opportunities. And
I see.
so, what is my problem? My problem is that I can't be physically with the kids. Well, what
Kids.
opportunities does this present to me? Well, I've always wanted the kids to bring English home, you know, to experience English at home. Well, guess what? They're
Yeah.
at home.
They are at
So
home
now,
to present the English.
yeah. So I mean, then what can you do? Hey, show me your room. Take me on a tour of your house. Show me your kitchen. Okay, everyone, show and tell time. Show me your favorite toys. Talk about your toys. Introduce me to your family. Introduce me to, you know, just show
Yeah.
me stuff. Let's talk. And
Great.
yeah, yeah. It could be worse. I mean, at least this way, everyone's staying healthy. So.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Uh, Another one is about it. Thanks, by the way. So, how the situation with COVID-19 has changed in teaching, and what instruments can teacher use or you are
Mm,
using?
yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, it really has changed, like the games you want to play. Like I'm just thinking about the kindergarten, you know. So most kindergartens right now, they are open. You know, you can
Uh-huh.
go, you can drop your kids off, and they're working there. I'm currently not in a kindergarten, by the way. I'm a full-time author. But I just keep thinking about how could I not like sit down and I would like make tents and I would get in the tents and we'd all get together and we'd read a storybook together underneath
Yes.
these sheets. I'm just thinking like there
Hmm.
are so many things like in terms of distance that you have to respect that must be so difficult. And then there's the whole remote learning situation, which is just, you
Yes.
know, a real struggle. Uh, Instruments that can help. Um, My recommendation is props, a lot of props. I brought some props to
Props.
show you. Yeah, the simplest of things, you know, different
Ah,
things to show, like,
nice.
are you sick? You know, simple things, but something visual to, you know, that something fun. And I always use, this goes, you know, in classroom, out of the classroom. Always. My first lesson ever with a kindergartner is always a sock puppet. And this is on our website
Yeah.
too. Like, you know,
Ah, I
because
know it. I
my
saw that one.
little Amy, yeah. So, I mean, this gives you the opportunity to demonstrate English because you have no one else with you. You don't have another teacher to help you anymore. You can't be like,
Yeah,
hey, come into my
exactly.
class. Well, if you don't have another teacher, you have your own sock. So you can talk and you
Yeah.
can use that to demonstrate. And I always like to use, and if you see the next videos for like book number 7 and stuff, you'll see that I use a lot of stuffed animals. And we
Wow.
talk about oh, big ears, big, you know, just talk about
It's
body
nice.
parts. Props are fun. Props are fun. And you know, I give a webinar also about not just props and making, you know, online lessons more interactive, but also about some of the resources that are available online, uh,
Uh-huh.
from Khan Academy to, I love, this is going to seem silly, it's a Turkish website,
What's that?
360 Mekan. 360
Wow.
Mekan. It's a
Hmm.
website that 360 Mekan that allows you to take virtual tours of different places around the world. And so you can go, for instance, for the 19th of May, 19 Mayıs, you can go to the
Yeah.
Bandurma in Samsun, and you can tour the museum on the computer
What?
with your kids. So I like those kind of things that make it a little bit, there you go. Oh, you wrote it.
Yeah, I wrote it.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of this. I'm a big fan of this. They have a
I
lot of
see.
museums, everything from like Ephesus to all the Troy, stuff, places like that. Lots of architecture. It's fun.
Great. It's a very useful tool. And by the way, you show your puppets, and here is my one. You see, this is my lovely one.
That's nice.
Okay, great. And so thanks, Amy, for the web page too, and the information about the distant learning. So, and the next question is, what kind of support do you provide for the teachers in this period? Or do you support
Me,
and do you,
personally.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I have two answers for that. The first one is I mentioned before that ITTC has been doing a webinar series, and those are all free. They will be continuing up again, I believe, in November, but don't quote me on that. We took a little bit of a break because we felt like, you know, it's October, people are getting in the last rays of sun, they want to be outside on the weekend. Now November is coming, and you're all going to be inside. So we'll probably start up again. And
Think about what
and so we have that. You know, ITTC does a lot of and enter education with them. They do webinars, and I also contribute. I've done 2 webinars there, and I've also participated in an eTwinning webinar as well. I don't know if anyone here follows eTwinning, but they have a lot of educational. They give a lot of good stuff. You do, but maybe the people who are watching wouldn't. And also, for my books, because here's the thing: if you buy the book, great. If you're not in the classroom, what are you going to do? So we have been shooting videos where I have read all of the storybooks. You know, we have already done the audiobooks, and then
very nice.
All of the activities I've done, everything for the. What haven't I done? Do you know? I've even been using my kitchen, Volkan. I've been using my kitchen.
Wow.
And I'm shooting cooking videos. How to make your own Play-Doh at home. How to make a volcano at home. You know, how to make pancakes. And so many like extra little things for the teachers and the parents. They're uploaded on our website and then, like, you know, let's say you do I don't know, something silly. Let's say you do something from our activity book. Like I shot this week. It's
nice.
I showed the kids how to do it, and I brought like a pomegranate and a quince and an orange, and I said, okay, let's make a pattern together. Now let's do this activity. Because the teachers are perfectly capable of doing this on their own in the classroom. But you don't know how long you're going to be in the classroom. So we have to be ready for possibly, you know, being sent back home. And so we're just shooting everything just in case. Just in case.
I see. It's great. I see. Amy, there are 2 questions. I saw them. Maybe you saw them too. It was about how can we buy your books, and another one is how can we reach your audios?
My what? Audiobooks. The my audiobooks?
Yeah, I saw that one over there.
My audiobooks are for free on the website, entereducationkids.com. But they're just audiobooks.
Where do we buy your books, by the way? Another question.
Where do you buy my books? That's a great question. They are not for sale on to individuals. They are only marketed to schools.
Uh,
This is the interesting thing, Volkan, that, I could go on about this. Uh, the interesting thing about all of these books that are sold for the purpose of English, for learning English, when they are tailored for the schools want them to be only sold to the schools. So
I see.
we can only sell to the schools. It's very interesting. I'm just learning about this market. I would have never
Uh,
expected this. It's very interesting. But think about it. Have you ever seen any of the English products that we use being sold at like DNR, at Dost? You don't see them because they're tailor-made to teachers.
I
So they're
see.
sold to schools. Yeah,
I see. Okay. So it just
it
only
is.
to the schools. I see.
Yes.
I
So if
understand.
there's any English teachers here, if there are any English teachers
Hmm.
here, call us.
Yeah, of course.
You can, you can contact us at entereducationkids.com. Something like
Yeah, of
that.
course, of
I don't
course.
know.
You can
I'm
say
really
that.
bad at this.
Great. They can go to Instagram of Enter Education Kids and the Turkish Amy. Also, they can reach you if they want
Yeah, they can.
to talk about the books. Okay, great. So, my next one. Can I move? Another one?
Yes, do so.
Sure. Okay. So my other question is about what do you think about teachers' professional development and what can teachers do for their professional development during this period?
Oh, you can always learn something new. Always continue to take trainings,
Uh-huh.
always participate. I was lucky enough to attend there was a Finnish education system training that I attended
Well,
last year, and there's just so many cool things. Like I would have never, I thought I knew. Like you think you know, but you don't know. Like you find something else. You will always find one thing to take away from every seminar, from every webinar. At least one thing that will, or that will stick with you, or at least what you shouldn't do. You can also take that away. And
sure, both we can take.
like I said before, ITTC gives webinars. Uh, the eTwinning does wonderful webinars. I'm not going to lie. One of the best things that I ever did was get my CELTA. One of the best things I ever did. Because I thought, at that point, I had been teaching for, oh God, I'm going to say 6
It's okay.
years. No,
Wow.
but like it's almost embarrassing because I taught for 6 years without having any proper training, honestly. And then like I knew a lot of what I should be doing when I got to Salta, but Salta like really told me, yes, this is what you need to be doing. And
Yeah.
it really gave me more focus. So anything like that, like
Uh-huh.
Salta, like Tassel and all those things, they're all great.
I see. They can go for them and in this period.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
may I say something else? You
Yes.
know how I
Sure,
said
sure, of course.
how there are no problems, only opportunities? Um, this is one of those opportunities because everyone is at home. You can take courses that you would otherwise be unable to attend. For instance,
Yeah.
I'm teaching classes in Istanbul some days. I couldn't normally
Wow.
teach classes in Istanbul, but because my classes are online, now I can be teaching people over there. People right now, they could be, who knows where they're watching us from, right? So, I mean, this is a huge opportunity. Look into international stuff as well. The sky is the
Yes.
limit. Everyone is doing things online, and a lot
You are
of
right.
people are doing stuff free.
You are right. Exactly. So is it all? Okay.
Volkan, when you ask me that, I feel like I'm talking so much. Like, are you done yet? Are you done? Come
No,
on.
no, 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 no. Because the sometimes it's freeze. So I thought that it's you still keep talking, and I don't wanna I can't understand sometimes because it's freezing and because of the connection, and so I can't understand you finish or not. That's why I ask, have you finished or something like that. Okay, thank you. So what is my next question is about what do you think about the future of language education?
It will continue. It will continue. I mean,
Yeah.
I this was discussed before in one of our teacher trainer uh, classes before. Like, I mean, what will happen as technology increases? Will we all walk around with like little translators? Like, I mean, even as someone who no, I think that linguists will always be necessary, and
I see.
I don't think I think as this is coming from an engineer, mind you. I think that as wonderful as machines and robots are, that they will never be creative, that they will never produce art. And language is art. And
I
in
see.
America, they don't teach English, by the way. They teach language arts. That is the
Mm,
name for the discipline. So I think it'll just continue. So
I see. I see. Okay. So my other question is, this is really nice. I'm really wondering about it. So what is your motto?
no problems, only there are no problems, only opportunities.
Ah,
And
okay. Great. Wonderful.
that's what I was looking for. Motto. I'm saying sing and idiom and there. Thank you. There we
Yeah.
go. That has been with me since high school, though. That motto, and that has really helped me to be an optimist. To say, okay,
Wow.
this sucks, but what can we do? What can we take from this? So it's
I
helped me
see.
out a lot.
Wow. Great. Great. So this is a really nice question. I really wonder
Oh,
about what are you going to.
hold on, Volkan. One more.
Okay, I'm waiting.
One more motto that applies to teaching
Yeah, go for it.
is if the adults think you are crazy, you are doing something right.
Yeah. I saw this one somewhere. This is really it's really nice. Was it in
I
is it
think,
in your page?
yeah, I shared it the other day. I had a really, really funny
Uh,
picture while I was reading my video. I was like, and I made like this really funny face. And I was just like, oh God, I've done it again. I'm like, they're definitely gonna put this as the screenshot on the YouTube video. Oh God, I know, because they're out to get me. I know this is what they're gonna put. Okay, I'm just gonna let it out there, let everyone see so that they can prejudge me. But yeah, it's bad.
great. It's great.
Yeah.
So the other question is, by the way, so do you think that the current way of education children fully prepares them for the needs of 21st century? No. I
Very Turkish, no.
I can understand.
No, and well, I mean, 21st century, you're talking about 21st century skills. And I
Yeah.
think, when it's interesting. I'll tell you a small little story about how we wrote these books. When we finally found the right publisher for us, um, it's Gazi Kitabevi, wonderful publisher. They're the only
Uh-huh.
publishers that I went to, and I was like, oh yeah, they're just as crazy. Like they're just as like, let's do this. Okay. I was like, okay, every book that I write needs to have some sort of core value, some sort of, theme, some sort of 21st century skill. I didn't say it like that because that's more of a term that you and I know, right? I said it has to have
Yeah.
things that, we need to give these children something else, not just English. And we sat down And I still have the list. It's downstairs in my office. Just the owner of the publisher, the investor, and some people, and we just sat down and we're like, hey, what are kids today missing? And the things that they were spouting out were responsibility, problem solving, creativity. These are
Great.
all 21st century skills, and these are all
Skills. You're
this
right.
was an employer who's looking at, you know, his employees and the people, the high circulation rate of people coming and going, submitting their CVs, and he's like, great, they graduated from a university. So what? So what? He was saying, these kids, they come here and they can't problem solve. What happens if you know, here at the publishers, you know, I'm going to throw out a stupid example, but the paper gets clogged in the printer.
I see.
What are you going to do?
You're right.
Well, you have to be able to adjust to that. And so you can see that these, we have, especially in Turkey, you know, and I think I can say that now because I've been here for 14 years, you guys, is that
Yeah.
we have a, you know, an exam-based method of teaching. There's a lot of memorization, and it's just kids, they do not learn to learn. They just memorize things. And so they have all of this empty knowledge that they'll just, it'll just float away at the end of the day. They'll memorize it before the exam and then it's gone. So we need to be teaching
Gone.
skills. And the biggest skill is to be able to research and to decide what is true and, you know, to learn to learn. And the best place to do this is the kindergarten, because that's where, you know, you are gaining these life skills. You're getting this cognitive and social emotional development is in the kindergarten.
Yes.
So we really got to go. And you know, I'm going off on a tangent here. Excuse me. You know, the Ministry of Education doesn't want English taught so much in the kindergarten, you know, 2 hours a week. I don't blame them. Because when we focus just on teaching English, we focus on teaching the word yellow, cat, dog, you know, words like this, but we're not focusing on sharing and caring and empathy and being, you know, responsible for your homework. Do you know, these are the things that we need to be focusing on. Yeah.
Sure. I see that. I understand, but you know, you said lots of things about it. I see. Okay, great.
I am a firm, Volkan, I am one of those English teachers that believes that English is not as important as being a good person, as being, you know, someone who can make it in this world and survive and be successful. And so at the end of the day, if the children do not learn English from me, but they learn how to be better people, I will be happy.
Yeah, I agree.
They learn English.
Great.
They learn English, whether because you're playing with them and you're singing with them and you're being with them, so they will learn it anyway.
You are right. Okay, I see. I understand. It's a great idea about it. Thanks. Okay, so Amy, and the other one is actually, let me look at the time. Oh, okay. We have only 5 minutes left, by the way. You know, yeah, really, 5 minutes left. Yeah, because you know the Instagram, you know, the just only gives us no. You can talk, but only 5 minutes left because of the Instagram. Just give us 60 minutes. You know, that's why. So we cannot do it more than 60 minutes. So like this. Okay. I have 2 more questions, but the first one is, what does an educated person look like today for you?
They don't call themselves educated. An educated person is still trying to learn. You know, an educated
Uh-huh.
person realizes that they have so much more to do. An educated person realizes how stupid they are. Do you know what I mean? Like, I look at myself and I think, oh wow, I really need to learn this. I should know this. I am self-aware. Do you know what I mean? An educated
Yeah.
person
Yeah,
is
yeah.
aware of own
Hmm.
eksiklikler diyeceğim de eksiklikler. What is eksiklikler in
Something
English?
something
Volkan.
that's like something lack of or missing.
Huh. Yeah, they're deficiencies.
Wow.
Deficient. Wow. Yeah, I know. I can't believe I came up with that word either.
Nice word.
Yeah.
Can I get it again? Can I get it again?
Yes, of
De-
course. Deficiency.
yeah, wonderful.
Deficiency.
Yeah, great. Deficiency. Yeah, great. I see. It's a wonderful word. Yeah, you are right. Exactly. That an educated person should think about it. All right. So, last one. Before we end of our live session, what would you like to say to the all the English teachers or educators or the people who listen to us or who will listen us later? So, what are your last words?
Okay. One, this year is not a normal year. Uh, I gave an example in one of my webinars that, you know, if you were to get stranded on an island and you had to build some shelter for yourself, nobody will expect you to build a mansion. They're going to expect you to build a small little hut, maybe put
Mhm.
some branches over a couple of sticks. You know, you can only do so much. So you need to cut yourself some slack this year. You're not going
Yeah.
to be that teacher that you thought you were going to be this year. And you do what you can. Do what you can. Take advantage of things that you would think would be problems. You know, like I said, you're at home now with the kids. Have them give a tour
You're
of
right.
your house, of their house, excuse me, not your house, their house. Uh, different difficulties with my pronouns. Uh, there are no problems. There are opportunities. You can never be
I really
perfect, but
love that
especially
one.
this year, you can't be perfect. You can't be perfect this
Uh-huh.
year. Ever. You can't be perfect ever. But especially this year. And you should never stop learning. You should never stop. You know, there are so many good ideas out there. You know, and teachers are so giving. Lots of people, you know, want to help you, are willing to share lesson ideas. Be open to it. Be
Hmm.
open to criticism. I've been criticized so many times, and it's good. I told you, I went 6 years
Definitely.
without receiving a Salta. I mean, can you imagine how bad I was? Like, if it was pretty
How,
bad, Volkan.
but now.
Like, it took a lot of torpillemek. You know, it took a lot of, you know, being, I was sanded down. And still, there are things that I struggle with. You know, I don't think anyone is ever perfect when it comes to classroom management, for instance. You can always get better.
Great, great. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Amelia. And I think, yeah, we did it. It was a wonderful and and everything,
In
like
under
your
60
last words and
minutes.
everything. Yeah, almost, almost. Yeah. Thank you very much for
Thank
being my guest here in Teacher Talk sessions and sharing your ideas, your experiences, and your wonderful suggestions and your wonderful ideas and activities or other lots of things to us tonight with and being with us tonight. And that was really wonderful. I really enjoyed it and I didn't understand how time passed. And it's all, it's almost 60 minutes, it's so fast. And actually we could listen to you more hours, but I know
you.
that we are very busy, you are very tired, everybody's tired, and maybe you're gonna say, oh my god, this is enough, I've been talking for 1 hour. So I think it's
Yeah.
enough, something like this. And also thank you very much to the people or teachers who joined us tonight and being with
Yeah.
us and from Turkey or from out of Turkey, like other countries or something like that. And thank you very much. And I hope to see you in another session, something like that. And thank you very
I'd
much,
love to.
Amy. Thanks for everything. Yes. Bye.
Thank you, Volkan. I appreciate it. You are a very gracious host. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. You've been
Yeah.
really supportive.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
See you next
All right.
time, and see you with the next teacher talks. Bye bye.
Bye. How do we turn this off?
It's
I
only
don't